and she started yelling at me. Oh, you don't care, that's his land, his son, he's concerned about the future of his grandchildren and his sons, and he started yelling. And I cannot understand what. And that squaw was walking from there to here for 5 or 10 minutes, screaming at me. And I am sitting in a chair and don't say anything. And she finally got tired, and then she stopped screaming and she walked out of here. She ran out of breath.
Right.
This is what I was treated to. Now, prior to it, his sons, on the 9th of July, when he was arrested, with 2 of his sons and a young girl, a young woman. But the woman was released. But they kept the 2 sons and Boots.
Right.
No. They kept Boots and Greg. Steve and that young woman, they were released on their own words. So they will appear whenever they have to. So on the 9th, but he has a half a dozen sons or so, I don't know. There were 2, 3 of them were here, and there were other people, Indians. I was going out, and the reporter, Erin Tolley from the Turtle Island News, she was there because Boots was arrested and everybody and people were milling around. And one of his sons started yelling at me, calling me on names, and I said, look, I think his name Andy. Andy, I said, listen, why don't you come and talk to me nice? What is the problem? What's your problem? He came over, I'm sitting in a car, and the reporter is there, and this young punk came over and he's yelling at me, calling me, and hitting the door on my car, that you and my dad's in prison because of you, and banging on my car. And I said, hey, you calm down and go back in your smoke shop. I don't want to talk with you anymore. Erin came there, I said, what? And the guy was standing in the door of the smoke shop, yelling at me, full blast. And I said, Ernie, what is he talking about? Oh, Ernie, don't pay attention to him. And I said, look, I'm going to go to Timor. You want a coffee or something? I think I bought her a coffee or something.
Right.
I'm not too sure. But when I came in, I just came back. I didn't talk with them anymore. And from that day, on the 10th of July, when he was released from custody, and then he was here, the night he already was here, and every single day I have seen him going into the smoke shop, going back into the teepee, and I drove by. Within a week, he was sitting out there and, hey, you want a coffee? Yeah, I bought him a coffee. And then he was driving in and out in his own car. But from then on, they started harassing me. I have the papers. One day, it could have been around 9, dark already. We were firing guns over there.
At the smoke shack?
Yeah.
On your property?
Yeah. I have the paper. Each time it fired, the first time I heard, I grabbed it's an envelope.
Right.
A big envelope, and I make a mark. And I started writing. And then another shot. And look, I am a gun guy. I do know guns. I served in the army, and one of my hobby is I had quite a few guns collection, and so on and on. You can see it. It was a .22 caliber rifle, not a handgun. How do I know this? Because I'm a gun guy, I know a great deal about guns. A rifle has the dog blast. A handgun has a sharp crack.
Right.
Because of the short barrel, the gunpowder doesn't have enough time to burn completely. When it comes out, it throws a big flame and a big sharp crack. But on a rifle, the barrel is long, 22 inches long. As a bullet travels, the smoke and the gunpowder is burning up, and it's only the pressure what makes the sound when it is released. You know, it's supersonic.
Right.
So I counted them. It was not a firecracker, because a firecracker is, once you light it, you cannot control it.
Right.
This was like bang, 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 bang. These are all controlled. Now, knowing gun, I tell you this, and the smoke shop was removed. Next day, I went there and I walked all over, because the mud and everything else, I walked all over. Practically every square yard I looked very carefully. Was looking for empty cartridges.
Yeah.
But they are smart already. They had the gun barrel out of the car, and all when it threw the empty cartridge out, it was inside the car. I never found one cartridge. I found about 12, 13 cigarette lighters and about $5 or $6 toonie and loony and quarters and 10 cents. And in two occasions, around 11:30, they turned on a big boombox radio. It was going at full blast. You see, I am far from the smoke shop.
Right.
But they didn't have it on too long, because they were worrying the neighbor across the highway. They are close to it. I mean, so they listened to the boombox, the radio, more than I did. But I heard it, obviously, and I took note of it.
Right.
And after Booth was released from custody on the 10th of July, then they started the harassment. Like the gunfiring, the radio. And I never exchange a harsh word with Boots or with his sons. I always, you want a coffee? Yes. You want a hot day? Greg, I found out that this guy is the one who bloodied this Sam Gualtieri, who was building the house or something for his daughter.
Yeah.
And they beat him in the head and ended up in hospital. Greg, you want a coffee? Yeah. I went and bought him a coffee. A week later, it was very hot. I said, I'm going to Tim Hortons from an ice cap. You want one? Yeah, I'd like to have. I bet on one. What the hell is $2, $3, you know?
Right.
I maintained peace with them. In between, they set up the teepees. They chopped down the trees over there, the branches,
Yeah.
and they put hooks into the branch, and they had a punching bag, and these kids, they were beating the punching bag, you know, boxing punching bag.
Right.
They set up the barbecue, they put in a portable toilet, generator was running all day, the light was on. They had a television inside the smoke shop, watching whatever. And it happened with 2 or 3 separate occasions that I talked with Boots that listen, you gotta go. Don't wait until I remove you, because you know that I'm capable. I get in a backhoe and within 5 minutes you're in a ditch. And then a verbal abusement. And he started yelling at me that you bastard shit white man, this is my land, you gotta go. And I don't respond.